I'm with Paul MacKinnon, the CEO of the Downtown Halifax Business Commission, which has just released its latest report on the state of the downtown here in Halifax. And Paul, there is a lot to talk about in this report, but one of the big headlines coming out of it has to be about the size and the extent of the growth of the downtown. What's the takeaway for you?
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest finding we found is that total visitation, just in terms of people coming downtown for whatever reason, we're finally back over to where we were pre-pandemic by about 3%. We're up by about 18% over last year. So people are coming back downtown, whether that's to live or to visit or to work or whatever. So that's really exciting. And downtown, thrives on vibrancy. So vibrancy is simply people. We want to see lots of people walking around downtown, and we're finally back to where we were. And we had great momentum before pandemic. So that's the biggest piece of good news for sure.
Very happy to see that, I'm sure. But more people downtown, but seem to be spending less. At least that's what the report suggests. What does that tell you?
Yeah, so overall spending is down, so especially in the retail sector and in the restaurant sector. So that's a bit of bad news. It's not a complete surprise because we're all feeling the crunch of inflation and recessionary forces and uncertainty in the world, of course. But obviously, we'd like to see that reverse. So those numbers are a little bit they're a few months old now. So we're hoping when we get our next round of data that we'll see that's actually ticked back up because we are seeing more businesses open. So there's more people, there's more businesses, a little less spending. So it's being spread around a little bit more than it was previously.
Is it expensive to be in downtown Halifax? Is it too expensive for some people?
Well, I think what we want to see is there's a great variety. So downtown should be the place where you come. If you want to spend $300 on a meal, you should get it downtown. If you want to spend $5 on a meal, you should get it downtown. And I think what those numbers are showing is that there are people that are coming down and they're not spending a lot of money necessarily. So downtown really should be a place where everybody feels comfortable, regardless of whether you've come here to spend a lot of money or nothing at all. So I think overall that's a bit of good news, but of course we want to see those sales numbers go back up.
And on the business side of things, and we're beside a new establishment here, relatively new establishment, and there's lots of them down here now, the commercial property assessment still remains relatively high in the downtown. Is it expensive to do business down here? How are the businesses doing?
Well, it can be, and that's really a surprising part of the report is that, the assessment value really just calculates what the total value is of all the properties that are in downtown Halifax. And we would expect to see, because of all the construction that's happening and new businesses opening, we would expect to see that going up. It actually dropped for 4 years in a row, and now it's ticked up just a little bit. But as an overall part of the total commercial assessment of the city, it's actually shrinking. And so we'd never want to see a downtown be a smaller and smaller asset for the city. And so we want to see that reverse as well. So I think what that speaks to is the need for even more public investment, which will spur private investment. We released a new downtown vision last year, which has a lot of recommendations. And so I think that we'll see that turn around, and developments like this beautiful development behind me, the waterfront, certainly has been completely transformed over the past number of years. So I think we are headed in the right direction, but now is not the time to ease up on those investments. It's really time to ramp them up.
And the report shows that Halifax is really helping to drive the economy of Nova Scotia in many ways, doesn't it?
It is. Halifax really helps drive the economy of all of Atlantic Canada, not just Nova Scotia, and a lot of that emanates right here in the downtown. So it's always very important that all levels of government really focus on their urban cores. That's really what drives the tax base and provides the funding to provide the services that every Nova Scotian relies upon.
So a lot of growth to be spoken about, but how well is Halifax managing that growth? In your vision, or you look out, 5 years from now, when you look at how they're managing that growth now, what do you say?
Well, first of all, growth is good, so we certainly don't want to be doing anything to slow down the growth. I can't go a day without hearing about congestion. I'm sure you don't either. So that's no one that lives in a vibrant, growing city is ever happy with how long it takes them to get from point A to point B. But having said that, we need the city and the province to really take a serious look at public transit in particular, to really revamp the transit system so that it works much better for other people. We need to invest more into micromobility. So we do need to do something about the congestion. We need to invest. If we don't invest, we're not going to see this continue to grow. So that's a really important priority, both in terms of being able to get people to and from the downtown, but also to be able to get around on the peninsula.
And you want more people to stay downtown. Do we have enough places for people to stay? Given what's happened with the Airbnb rules and with hotel construction in this city, where are we standing on that front?
Yeah, so the good news is we're expecting another big tourism year, both this year and next year, and we've got some really big events coming. What we have heard from the industry is there is concern that we are going to be facing a shortage of hotel rooms, maybe not this year or next year, but in upcoming years, and that could really hinder us in terms of attracting events. So when we talk to developers, what they're really investing in is housing, which of course we need, but we also need to be looking at how do we incentivize and spur investment in additional hotel space. We will need more hotel rooms in the near future, and we're not seeing that growth particularly right now, so we need to figure out how to add hotel space as well.
So what do you think this city looks like in 5 years?
Well, I think the waterfront, every time people come here, they talk about just the jewel the waterfront is, not just in comparison to Canadian cities, but I think we stack up well with any city in the world in terms of our waterfront. So I think this area will become much more better used year round. We do need to make some major investments in terms of some of those things that people expect from larger cities. So things like a performing arts center, maybe a revamped Scotiabank Center to improve those facilities. We're talking about a new soccer stadium. These are all things we need to take a serious look at. We need to have those those quality of life pieces that people expect in a big city.
Paul MacKinnon, appreciate your time today. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.